Hello, hello. Welcome back to the mat. Today's class is going to be a warrior flow. We'll be hitting all of the warrior postures in today's practice. Your 1, 2, 3, humble, peaceful, like literally all the warriors. So I'll be inviting you to channel your inner warrior in today's class and to think about what it is that you are a warrior for. For today's practice, you are going to want a strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, a towel or a scarf, a belt, a necktie will work just fine as well if you don't have a yoga strap. And you might want to have 1 or 2 yoga blocks handy as well. We'll be coming into a supported warrior 3. So if you don't have blocks, you can also bring your hands onto the floor, but if your hamstrings are a bit tight, having a couple blocks underneath the hands can be really super helpful. If you don't have yoga blocks, you could use a couple of books, maybe a couple cans of something, anything that will help to elevate the earth and bring it up to meet you. We won't be putting a lot of weight down, so it doesn't have to be something super sturdy, but just something that'll allow the earth to come up and meet you. Other than that, all you'll need for today is your yoga mat. Before we dive right in, if you haven't joined us in the online tribe, click the link in the description below and come on in and join us. Alrighty, now go ahead, unroll your mat, and I will meet you coming to lie all the way back, just like your Shavasana. So we're gonna get started on our backs. Make sure that your strap or whatever you're using in place of a strap is handy and you can easily reach it with your hands. So make sure that that is close by next to you, coming all the way down onto your back. Like I said, just like Shavasana, so extend the legs long, and we're gonna bring the right hand over the belly and the left hand over the heart. Take a moment here to close down the eyes and begin to take the attention inward. And as you begin to dip into your practice here, I invite you to think about what it is that you are a warrior for, or what you would like to be a warrior for. What is it that you stand for? And what is it that you fight for? We're living through some pretty polarized times right now. It can feel like there's just too much to fight for on any given day. So in these few moments, hone in on just 1 or maybe 2 things that you can truly be a warrior for. And I invite you to dedicate this practice to whatever that thing is. Allow this practice to be an offering in service of whatever it is that you fight for. Begin to turn on your Ujjayi breath, bringing slight constriction to the back of the throat, creating an audible, sort of ocean-sounding breath, and giving voice to your breath today. Now I want you to see if you can keep the Ujjayi breath throughout practice as we move through the postures. See if you can maintain a smooth and somewhat even Ujjayi breath. And we'll gently flutter the eyes open, or you can keep them closed if you can do all the movement here with the eyes closed. So you're gonna reach for your strap, bring the soles of both feet flat onto the earth. You will unroll your strap, bring the right knee in towards the chest, bring the strap underneath the sole of the right foot, and begin to straighten the right foot towards the sky a little or a lot. See if you can reach the tailbone towards the earth at the same time as you reach the leg towards the sky. Really keeping it gentle here, so not pulling on the right leg, just gently opening into the right hamstring. The sole of the left foot can stay flat on the earth, or if it feels okay, you can maybe begin to extend the left leg long on your mat. And then from here, we're going to bring the strap into the right hand. So take the strap into the right hand completely. Bring left hand onto the left hip, sort of as a reminder for the left hip to stay down. And then begin to open the right leg out towards the right. A little or a lot, again, as much as feels okay, not trying to force it. If you notice that the left hip starts to lift off the mat, invite it gently back down onto the earth. Gently begin to lift the right leg up towards the sky. And we're going to come into a twist. You have a couple of options. So you can either bring the strap into the left hand, keep a straight right leg, and take the straight leg all the way over towards the right. That might not feel comfortable, in which case you can release the strap, bend the right knee, and then take the bent right leg over towards the left. So finding the twist that feels best on your body, starting to wake up the spine. Trying to keep the right shoulder on the earth as much as possible. Go ahead and lift back up to center. And we're going to bring the soles of both feet flat onto the earth once again as we come onto the left side. So bringing the left knee in towards the chest, you'll take your strap and bring it underneath the sole of the left foot. And you'll extend the left foot towards the sky a little or a lot. Checking in with the left hamstring. Notice that it might feel different from the right hamstring, which is totally normal. Notice how the sensation changes if you press your tailbone down onto the earth versus releasing and allowing the tailbone to lift slightly. Sole of the right foot can stay flat on the mat, or if it feels okay, you can begin to extend that right leg long. Bringing the strap into the left hand. Right hand comes onto the right hip, gently reminding that hip to stay down on the earth as you begin to open the left leg out towards the left. Lift the left leg back up to center. Coming into your twist, again, deciding if you'd like to keep a straight left leg, bringing the strap into the right hand, or if you'd like to release the strap, bend the left knee in towards the chest, and then from there, take your twist, bringing the left leg over towards the right, keeping the left shoulder on the earth. Go ahead and lift back up to center. Hugging both knees in towards the chest. You can move your strap out to the side. You won't be needing that anymore. Hug the knees in, taking a gentle rock side to side. And then starting to roll yourself forward and back. Taking a few rolls here if it feels good on the back. It's like a little massage. And then coming all the way up and making your way into Navasana boat pose. So coming up onto your sit bones, make sure you're not rolling back onto your tailbone. We'll start to wake up the belly a little bit. Feet are flat on the mat. Hands come behind the thighs. Lift the chest nice and tall and begin to lean back as you walk the feet in and then lift them off the earth. So the shins can stay parallel to the earth here. Maybe you can play with extending the legs long. The hands can stay behind the thighs. If you feel really strong, you can extend the arms towards the front of your mat. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, we're going to lower halfway, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, lift back up, Navasana. Exhale, Ardha. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift. Go ahead and release. Bringing feet onto the earth. Roll over the shins. Come into your tabletop position. Hands and knees. Stacking shoulders over wrists and the hips over the knees. Begin to move through your cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze and the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, press the earth away, chin towards the chest. Inhale to arch. And exhale, round. Inhale, open the heart space forward. Exhale, round. One more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and find a neutral spine. And extend the right leg straight back. The toes are going to point down towards your mat. And extend the left arm straight out in front of you. Notice if your navel starts to sag towards the earth, press the navel up towards the spine, so firm up the belly. Take an inhale here, extending in opposite directions, and as you exhale, bring the knee towards the elbow as you round the spine, so just like your cat spine. Inhale to extend, firm up the belly. Exhale, round, the navel pulls up. One more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale to extend, and then release the left hand to the earth and the right knee down. We'll take the other side. The left leg extends long, the toes point down, right arm extends forward, firm up the belly, take an inhale. Exhale, round the spine, bring knee to the elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend, and release. And go ahead and start to make your way into downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back. Taking any movement that feels good here in this first downward facing dog. So bending knees, pedaling the feet, shifting hips, whatever speaks to your body here in this shape. And when you feel that you are satisfied with movement here in this downward facing dog, begin to find stillness. On an inhale, come forward into your plank pose. Nice strong plank, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now you have the option to stay with that exact same movement, plank, downward facing dog, or you can come with me into the three-legged variation. So the right leg will extend up and back, so you're in a three-legged dog. You're going to inhale to come forward into a three-legged plank, and then exhale, press back, three-legged dog. Two more like this on this side. Inhale, three-legged plank. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, come forward. And exhale back. Lower the right foot to the earth. And take the left leg up and back. Again, inhale, come forward. Three-legged plank. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, three-leg plank. Exhale, three-legged dog. One more. Inhale, come forward. And exhale back. Left foot comes to the earth. Come forward into your plank pose and slowly lower yourself all the way onto your belly. We're coming into Shalabhasana, Locust Pose. So make sure that the feet are together. The tops of the feet are flat on the earth. Extend the arms next to the body. The palms are going to face down. Your forehead can come onto the mat. On an inhale, you're going to reach the toes for the back of your space so much that the legs will lift, and then pull shoulder blades back towards each other so much that the chest lifts off the mat. I like to turn my palms so that my thumbs are turning upward and my palms are facing out. I find it helps to really pull the shoulder blades back, activating the entire back side of the body. One more inhale. And exhale, release. You can make a pillow out of your hands, one hand on top of the other. Bring the forehead onto the hands. Shifting hips side to side gently as you let that go. Alrighty, one more time, Shalabhasana, Locust Pose. So we'll set it up exactly the same way. Arms come next to the body, the palms turn down. On an inhale, lift everything up off of the mat. So option to stay right here, or as you inhale, bring the arms forward next to the ears. And then exhale, bring them back next to the body. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, back. 1 more, inhale, forward. Exhale, back. And then release, making a pillow with the hands. Forehead onto the hands, shift the hips side to side. From here, we're going to press up into your plank pose. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes underneath. So if you know that pressing up into plank pose is not going to happen today, feel free to press up into a modified plank with the knees on the earth. Build the strength there so that you can do so safely. Firm up the legs, firm up the belly, magnetize the elbows back towards each other. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, press it all up, plank pose, and then downward facing dog. And from here, begin to walk the feet up to the hands. Big toes touching. On an inhale, lift halfway, lengthen crown of the head forward. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. On an inhale, come all the way up to stand, lifting the arms high. And exhale, hands to heart center. So finding your Tadasana mountain pose here at the top of your mat, big toes touch, slight gap between the heels. Firm up the legs, firm up the belly, shoulder blades pull back and down. We'll move through a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A. As you inhale, lift the arms up high. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lifting the gaze. As you exhale, plant the palms and step back into your plank pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, option to lower the knees or keep them lifted as you lower for Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Begin to make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, lift the arms high. And exhale, hands into heart center. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, step, or you can hop back into Chaturanga if that's in your practice. On an inhale, open up the chest, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step or hop to the top of the mat. On an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, lift the arms. Exhale, hands into heart. We'll move through 1 round of Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees deeply, lift the arms, Utkatasana, chair pose. Make sure that the weight is back in the heels. Pull the pubic bone gently towards the navel so you take some of the booty pop out of this pose. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or hop back. Make your way through your vinyasa. Inhaling to open the chest. Exhaling into downward facing dog. From here, step the right foot in between the hands, left heel to the earth, warrior one. Your inhale is going to lift you up into the pose, and your exhale is going to bring the hands back onto the earth. Take the right foot back, vinyasa here. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right away, left foot steps between the hands, right heel to the earth. Inhale to rise, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step left foot back, vinyasa. And downward facing dog. Step or hop your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen spine, and exhale, fold. Bend the knees deeply. Inhale, lift the torso. Utkatasana, chair pose. So we're going to stay here in this chair pose. Begin to bring all the weight into the left foot as you lift the right heel off the mat, and then lift the whole right foot off the mat. Stay low in the left leg, right knee in towards the chest. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, stay low in the left leg, tap the right toes behind you. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, tap the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Bring the right knee to the chest and straighten the left leg. From here, find your tree pose. So right leg opens out towards the right. You can bring the leg to the inside of the left thigh, to the inside of the calf. Maybe the toes are on the earth. Hands can come to heart center. Find your drishti point, your gazing spot. If you feel really steady, you can begin to lift the arms up high. Maybe lifting the gaze. Take one more inhale here. And exhale. On your inhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest again, and then bend into the left knee as you bring the right foot onto the earth next to it. Utkatasana, chair pose. Lift left knee in towards the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, tap the left toes. Stay low in the right leg. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, tap. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, knee to the chest. Straighten the right leg. Find your tree pose on the left side. Bringing the foot to wherever feels most comfortable. Hands can come to heart center. Left foot presses into the right thigh. The right thigh presses into the left foot. Find that midline. Maybe lifting the arms high. On an inhale, left knee comes into the chest. Exhale, sit down into the legs, Utkatasana. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or hop, make your way back. Take a vinyasa, or if you're over the vinyasas already, that's totally cool. You can skip them and head straight to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, right foot steps between the hands, left heel to the earth. We're coming into warrior two. So find your heel to arch alignment. And when you found it, lift the torso. You want the hips, the shoulders facing the side of your mat. Right toes point forward, arms extend long. Our gaze is over the front middle finger. From here, flip the front palm, lean back, peaceful warrior. Reach through the right fingertips. Keep the bend in the right knee. Take one more inhale. And an exhale. Lift the torso, coming through warrior two into side angle pose. Right forearm can come onto the thigh. Left arm will extend long over the left ear. If you'd like, you can bring the right hand onto the earth, to the inside of the right foot, or maybe onto a block. Decide where you'd like to take the pose. Inhale to lift back up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel, hands to the earth, step right foot back, vinyasa or downward facing dog. From here, left foot steps between the hands, right heel to the earth, warrior two on the left side. Find your stance, lift the torso, sitting down into the legs. Find your strong warrior. So this is your warrior of taking aim. So as you gaze over the front middle finger, envision what it is that you are a warrior for. What are you working towards? What is it that you fight for? And then flip the front palm and lean back for peaceful warrior. Remembering that whatever it is that we fight for, we should do it from a place of relative peace. At the very least, peace within. Lift the torso, side angle pose. Left forearm to thigh or hand to the inside of the foot. Right arm reaches towards the front of your mat, the palm facing down. So one long line of energy from the outside edge of the right foot all the way through the right fingertips. Inhale, lift back up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, step left foot back, vinyasa, or skip it. Stepping right foot in between the hands. We're coming into warrior one this time. So the left heel is going to come down. The foot is at a 45-degree angle. So the left toes are pointing towards the upper left corner of your mat. When you feel steady, you'll lift the torso. So you want both hip points pointing straight forward. So if you need to open the feet a bit wider to make space for your hips, please do so. The arms will lift up high. So in the myths of the asanas, you might have heard me tell this a little story before, but the myth of Veerabhadra, for whom the warrior postures are named, Veerabhadrasana. Veerabhadra was an incarnation of Shiva. Shiva created him to avenge the death of his beloved. And so Shiva is sent to this party to avenge her death. And the way he enters this party is through the ground, through the earth. And this is the pose that he emerges in. So channel some of that. Imagine exploding through your ceiling, moving towards the cause it is that you're fighting for. And then from here, go ahead and bring the hands behind the back. Clasp the hands as you inhale, open the heart to the sky. And as you exhale, bow down. The torso can come onto the thigh, to the right thigh, or you can bring the torso to the inside of the right thigh, dropping the crown of the head towards the earth. Humble warrior. Humble warrior reminds us to be warriors for our causes, but to do so without ego. Inhale to lift back up into your warrior one. Release the hands, and from here we're coming into your supported warrior three. So the hands are going to come onto the earth, and this is a beautiful place to bring a couple of blocks underneath the hands. You'll bring all the weight onto the right leg. The left leg will extend straight back towards the wall behind you. Notice if the hip wants to open up, close that hip. So point the left toes towards the mat. You can kind of imagine a block in between the thighs, and you're gently pressing in towards the block. The crown of the head reaches straight forward. Take one more inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back into a shortened stance. So not as wide as you just had it for warrior one. We're coming into pyramid pose. And this is another beautiful place for your blocks if the earth feels really far away. So you want two straight legs, both heels on the earth. Take an inhale, extend crown of the head forward, pull the right leg up into the hip socket, find even hips, and then you'll lower the torso towards the right leg a little or a lot, as much as feels okay on your right hamstring. If you need to keep a bit of a bend in the right leg, please feel free to do so. Be gentle with your hammies. And then from here, coming back into your supported warrior three. So find hands on blocks, or maybe your hands are okay on the earth, bringing all the weight back onto the right leg as the left leg extends long and back. Keep a really active left leg. Take one more inhale. Exhale, we're stepping back into high lunge. So step the left foot way back. The left heel will stay lifted, and then you'll lift the torso, finding your high crescent lunge. And from here, we're coming into warrior three. If you want to come back into your supported warrior three, feel free to do that. Otherwise, bring hands into heart center, lean the torso, bring all the weight onto the right leg. Straighten it as you extend the left leg long. I know your right glute is talking to you. Stay with it. Just a couple more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, step the left foot way back. Bring hands onto the earth. Step a right foot back. Take a vinyasa or head straight to downward facing dog. Alrighty, left side, here we go. Left foot between the hands. Warrior one, right heel to the earth, right toes pointing to the upper right corner of the mat. Lift the torso. Press firmly into the outer edge of the back foot. Really strong in the legs, strong in the arms. Again, envision powering through your ceiling. And then clasping the hands behind you, inhaling to open the heart to the sky. And exhale, bow down, humble warrior. Notice if the left hip wants to pop out towards the left, pull the left hip back in space. Try to bring it in line with the right hip. And now lift the torso. Unclasp the hands, bring them down towards the earth, coming into your supported warrior three. So hands onto blocks, maybe onto the earth. Weight onto the left leg, right leg reaches towards the back of your space. So you're reaching through the right heel, the right toes are pointed down, crown of the head is reaching forward, really long line of energy from crown through the heel. Take one more inhale. Exhale, step the right foot back, not too far back, so we're coming into that pyramid pose. Again, bring the blocks underneath the hands if you'd like. Take an inhale, lengthen crown of the head forward, pull the left hip up into the hip socket, find even hips, and then lower the torso a little or a lot over the left leg. Keep the left quadricep really active, so pull the kneecap up towards the hip point. Active quad will help to release a bit in the hamstring. And then lifting the torso, we're coming back into your supported warrior three. So hands onto blocks or not. All the weight comes onto the left leg, right leg reaches long and back. Now imagine lifting the right leg using the inside of the right thigh. So from the inside, an inward rotation, rather than using the outside of the leg. The outside of the thigh tends to be stronger than the inner thigh. So see if you can recruit the inner part of the thigh to find lift in the leg. One more inhale. As you exhale, step the right foot way back, finding your high lunge, lifting the torso and the arms. One more breath here. Hands to heart center, coming into warrior three. Feel free to take it supported if you would prefer. Otherwise, lean the torso over the left leg, shift all the weight onto that leg. As you straighten through both legs, right leg reaches back. I know you're feeling that left glute. Breathe through it. One more inhale. Exhale, step the right foot way back, hands onto the earth. Take the left foot back, vinyasa, or downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, bring the knees onto the earth, seat to feet, forehead to your mat. Find your child's pose. When I was in yoga teacher training, we used to joke that child's pose is warrior four. And this is your wise warrior. This is the warrior that knows when to take a step back, when to catch your breath, when to take a moment of rest. Alrighty, from here, come back into your downward facing dog. Hips up high. That was a lot of booty, outer hip work, so let's find our way into a pigeon pose. Take the right knee, bring it behind the right wrist. The right foot will come towards the left wrist-ish. You can tuck the left toes as you scoot yourself back with the left foot, trying to bring both hips, or the right hip down onto the earth and the front of the left thigh down on the earth. So you want the hips pointing straight forward. If this pose is not working for you, you have a couple options. You can take this as a seat. So what you'll do is you'll bring the right ankle above the left knee, hands behind you, press the chest up towards the leg. You can take it seated here, or you can take the same shape on your back, lie down, hug the left knee in towards the chest, and take your supine pigeon that way. So find the variation of this pose that's going to work for your body today. If you are here in this pigeon pose with the right leg forward, left leg back, take an inhale to lengthen the chest. And as you exhale, you can melt the torso down over the right leg. You can stay on the forearms, sending the breath into that outer right hip and into the right glute. And if it feels okay for you, you can come to lie all the way down, releasing the forehead onto the mat. If you want to stay in this pigeon pose a bit longer, feel free to pause this video and stay in this pose as long as you'd like. If you're ready to come on out, go ahead and lift the torso, slowly walking the hands in. And we're going to come into Agni Stambhasana fire log pose. So from here, you'll shift all the weight over onto the right hip and you'll swing the left leg around. Now, before you do that, make sure that the right shin is parallel to the top of your mat. Your right foot is flexed. Now bring the left leg around and you're going to stack the left shin on top of the right. So I will turn to face you so you see what this looks like. So you have two parallel shins. And you want to be able to flex both feet. So if you find that you're kind of sickling in here and the ankle is sickling, see if you can bring the left leg up and over a little bit more so that the ankles are stacked right above the knees. If this pose is not working for you at all, feel free to bring the left shin in front of the right for Sukhasana easy pose, and you'll take this just like this. If you are here and you're stacking the shins and you find you've got a lot of space in between the right foot and the left knee, bring a block into that space so that you are supported. Find the variation that works for you for this pose. I find it really helpful to bring my hands onto the earth, lift my seat up, and then pull my booty back and sit back down. Take an inhale here, sit up really nice and tall. And this might be more than enough sensation for you. If it is, just stay right here and feel the stuff. If you'd like to feel more, you can begin to bring the hands in front of the shins. Keep a nice long spine, so lifted chest. And from here, you can begin to walk the hands forward just a tiny bit, maybe a bit more. You're going to be feeling quite a bit of business in the left glute and the left hip, so I recommend taking it slowly. And then gently lifting the torso up if you started to bend over the legs. And from here, we're going to come into pigeon pose on the other side. Before we do that, go ahead and bring the soles of both feet flat onto your mat. Bring the hands back behind you and windshield wiper the legs over to either side a few times, just kind of releasing into the hips. It's a lot of hip business. And then start to make your way into Pigeon Pose on the left side. If you'd like to bring the hands to the earth and hop back into a vinyasa and come into it from downward facing dog, feel free to do that. Otherwise, you can just set yourself up for pigeon on the other side. So left shin will be in front of you, the right leg will extend straight back, and you want to be square to the front of your mat. So you want the front of the right leg on the earth. So that's the front of the thighs on the earth, and you want the left hip down as well. If you find that you're really lifted here, bring a block underneath the left hip, really support yourself. Allow yourself to be supported here so that you can kind of surrender into this pose. And if you're taking this seated or on your back, do your thing. Take this however feels good for you. And let's take an inhale here, lengthen spine. And as you exhale, melt the torso down, coming down over the left leg. Maybe taking a pause on forearms, checking in with the sensations that arise as you move into this pose. If you pause the video on the other side to take more time here in your pigeon, please do so on this side as well. Otherwise, you can gently begin to lift the torso. And coming into Tadasana, fire log pose on the other side. So all the weight comes over onto the left hip. Make sure that the left shin is parallel to the top edge of your mat. And then bring the right leg around, stacking it on top of the left shin. So again, you're looking for two parallel lines and flexed feet. If you'd like, you can lift the booty, bring it back a little bit, bring it back down, give yourself a bit more space. Again, if this is not working for you, please take Sukhasana easy pose, just crossing the right shin in front of the left. You'll get plenty of sensation out of that as well. So find what is most kind on your hips and your knees. Inhale here to lengthen the spine long towards the sky. Stay right here if you are feeling more than enough. And if you'd like to feel some more, you begin to lean the torso with a long spine over the legs, bringing the hands in front of the shins. And gently begin to lift the torso back up. Undo the legs, bring soles of both feet flat onto the earth, hands behind you. Take a few windshield wipers with the legs. And from here, we'll take a seated forward fold. So extending the legs long in front of you. Flexing the feet back towards the face. Inhale to extend crown of the head to up towards the sky. And as you exhale, reach the heart towards the feet. So trying to keep a really long spine. Lifted chest. As you slowly walk the fingers forward. When you've gone as far as you can go with a long, straight spine, if there's no pain in the low back, you can feel free here to round down into your forward fold. Slowly begin to lift. And from here, we're going to take a supported bridge for our back bending practice today. So take hold of one of your blocks and come all the way onto your back. Bring the soles of the feet flat onto the earth. So setting yourself up like bridge pose. So you want to make sure that you can graze the backs of your heels with the middle fingers so that the feet are aligned underneath the knees. And you'll bring the block into your hand, press into the feet as you lift the hips, and you'll bring the block underneath the sacrum. You can choose the height that you'd like to bring the block to, and you'll rest the hips down on the block. And that's it. Taking a nice passive back bend here. If you would prefer to take a more active back bend, you can take bridge pose without the block, or if wheel is in your practice, feel free to come into a wheel. I invite you to really listen to what it is that your body needs today. Part of being an effective warrior is listening, is tuning in, it's knowing when to pull back and when to really give it your all. So if you've got more juice and your body's craving it, feel free. Give it a bit more. But if this supported bridge feels like exactly what your body needs, then take these next few breaths to really enjoy it. And from here, we're coming into our inversion practice today. And for inversion practice, I'm giving you yogi's choice. A little bit of a yogi recess here, so you can work on whatever inversion it is you'd like to work on. If where you are right now feels really nice and you'd like to kind of stay in this vein, what you can do is bring the block onto its lowest height, keep it underneath the hips, and then you'll extend the legs straight up to the sky. And you'll take this Viparita Karani, nice passive inversion here. If you'd like to make this even more restorative, you can scoot your booty up to a wall and take the legs up the wall and take that there. I think this is actually where I'm going to stay today, but if you have a headstand, a shoulder stand, forearm stand, handstand, any stand that is in your practice that you are working on, that you'd like to work on in these next few moments, feel free to take whatever that is. And if you've got the legs up the wall or block underneath your sacrum like this, feel free to stay for another few more moments. If you are in a more active inversion, if you're in a headstand, forearm stand, handstand, start to make your way into a child's pose. And if you took a shoulder stand, begin to make your way into a fish pose. So finding your inversion counter pose. And from here we will all start to make our way flat onto our backs. So releasing any pose that you are in, starting to make your way all the way onto your back. When you get there, go ahead and hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a nice loving squeeze here. Maybe a gentle rock side to side as you check in with the low back. And then from here, go ahead and lift the forehead up towards the knees. Make yourself as small as possible. And begin to squeeze every muscle in your body. All the muscles in your feet, in your hands, in your face, in your arms, your shoulders, your legs. Take a big inhale. Exhale, release it all onto the mat. Legs are long. Feet are as wide as your mat, maybe wider. Letting the feet just kind of flop out to the sides. Arms next to the body. Allow the palms to turn up towards the sky. Go ahead and take a big breath in. Fill up the belly. Open the mouth and let it go. Take one more just like that. Big inhale. Open the mouth, release any remaining tension. Allow your breath to move naturally on its own rhythm, in and out of the body. If you have more time to stay here in Shavasana, please stay. Otherwise, start to bring some gentle movement into fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And extend the arms long overhead and take a nice long stretch. Bring the soles of the feet flat onto the mat. Roll onto the side of your choice. And using the top hand to help press you up, make your way into a comfortable seat. And bringing the palms to touch at heart center. And sealing this practice with one big, beautiful Om. Take a deep inhale. Ooh. Thank you so much for joining me here and for allowing me to lead you in practice today. Namaste. Thank you so, so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Go out there and be a warrior for your cause. I'll meet you back on the mat next time.